Hello and welcome to my channel FaxaKnits. My name is Sarah and I am a knitter based in Germany. This is episode 4 of my project podcast, and in this episode I want to take you with me on the adventure of knitting a leftover bralette top. In this chapter, which is chapter 1, I will share with you my thoughts and my idea to knit this bralette top. As you can see, I made a few notes, which nobody except for me is able to read, I think, but we have this little sketch which shows you the idea that I have in mind. The top that you can see here is quite long. I think for the top that we are going to make, it will be quite short, maybe half the length of which was shown here. So, because of the fact that I will use up some scraps, I will knit this one entirely top down, which means that we are able to use up every single centimeter of our leftover yarn. This means that I will start with the straps, put them on safety needles, and then I will start by casting on for the front bust, knit this front triangle, and then close the round, incorporate the straps into the round, and then simply around and around until we have no yarn left. So that's for the plan. Okay, I am back with the plan. So as you can see, we will work this bralette top in 6 steps. Step number 1 is working 2 straps as 6-stitch I-cords for 60 rounds. I think, hopefully, this will bring me to a length of 38 to 40 centimeters, which is fitting for my shoulders. I will work these I-cords on needle size 3.5 millimeter. Here you can see the straps. Step number 2 will be the front ribbing, which you can see here. And because of the fact that this part up here is the most visible from the whole top, I want this edge to be very nice and clean. And so I decided to knit this one from down here up and do an Italian bind off. So what I am planning on doing is I want to use a provisional cast on over 50 stitches and then work up 7 rows in 1 by 1 rib, and then up here do an Italian bind off in which I hopefully will incorporate these 2 straps so that they are attached. Step number 3 will be working this front triangle, and for this we have to pick up the provisional cast on and work the triangle down. So my plan is to do the wrong side rows in 2 by 2 rib and the right side rows also in 2 by 2 rib, but incorporate an increase at the beginning and at the end of each row. We will work these increase rows 8 times, so we have a total of 16 rows for this bust triangle. After all increases, which will be 8 times 2 increases, makes 16 increases, we will have our 50 stitches plus 16 increased stitches to 66 stitches for this triangle bottom. Step 4 is casting on for the back. I think this part will be quite tricky because I want to cast on for the back 14 stitches, and then we will cast on 6 stitches while incorporating the 6 stitches from the strap, cast on another 26 stitches, cast on 6, incorporating the next strap, and then casting on the last 14 stitches for the last underarm. This will be 66 plus 66, so that we will have an equal amount of stitches both for the front and for the back of the top. After casting on for the back, we will work in the round, but we will use 2 different needle sizes. For the front, we will use the 4mm, but for the back, we will work 7 rows in ribbing. So we will use the 3.5mm needle for the back. For these 7 rows, we will carry 2 different needles in our work. So keep in mind, 1 by 1 rib for the back on 3.5 and 2 by 2 rib for the front on needle size 4. Next step will be super easy. We will work the body on needle size 4 in 2 by 2 rib, which is this whole blue part. And we will do this as long as we will have yarn. I want to eyeball a little bit so that I have yarn left for step 6, which is the hem. I will try to do also 7 rows of 1 by 1 rib before binding off an Italian bind off. And I will do this on needle size 3.5mm. So by saying eyeball, I am pretty sure that this will not work out, but I will try my best. So for the material, I am planning on knitting this leftover top out of this leftover yarn. This beautiful ball of yarn, not so beautiful ball, is from my fish sweater that I showed you in my What Happened Before series. I think it was episode 3, the colorwork sweaters. And I think this is around 70 grams. I think it will suit the purpose quite well. Besides the yarn, I will need the needle size 3.5 and also the needle size 4mm. And I will need my safety needles to put my straps on hold for the start of the strap and also for the end of the strap. So 4. And to do the straps, I have my double pointed needles. So that's it for the material that I will use for my leftover top. Okay, I will give you a little update on my scrap piece top. So I have finished step 1, which was knitting the straps as a 6-stitch I-cord, and as you can see, I finished both of the 2 straps. I went up from 60 rows that I have originally planned, up to 65 rows. And as you can see, we have a slightly stretched length of 50 centimeters for both of the straps. I think I will now do the provisional cast on for step 2 and knit the ribbing for the front of the top. Hi, we have a little update today. So this is the front triangle. I finished the Italian bind off, I finished the ribbing, I unpicked the provisional cast on, and then I knitted this bust triangle, which is curling up a little bit, but I think so you can see. And now I am ready to cast on for the back. Hello and welcome to chapter 4, which is the last chapter of my leftover bralette top. As you can see, I managed to finish the whole top after the last update, which was, I think, around here. I think it was around the cast on and the ribbing of the backside. And so, magically, everything's finished now. And we have to talk about the finished object. For the most part, which means for the steps 3 to 6, I am absolutely happy with the outcome. The top fits my body perfectly, and I also really like how the colors play together and how squishy and stretchy everything is. But here is but. Maybe you can see the transition from the strap to the bust area is, I don't know how to say it. It is ugly. I really don't like how this is looking. I unraveled it and sewed it and unraveled it and sewed it, and I am not able to do this better. And so I made up my mind to change the pattern. And the next time I will knit this, I will change how I knit these 2 steps. I will start with the front ribbing, this part, and after that I will do the straps out of the stitches that I have. By doing this, I hope to skip this sewing step here and to make everything a little more cohesive. Because on the back side, you can see that the transition from the body to the strap is a lot better. And this is because the live stitches of the strap and the cast-on stitches from the back ribbing made everything to one piece. And this is the look that I would like to have for the front. And so in my next top, I will start by a provisional cast on here, work the ribbing, and then use the last and the first 6 stitches to work the straps, and only Italian bind off the stitches in between. And so hopefully I can prevent things like this happening, you know. And for the rest of this top, I am quite happy. So nothing more to say about this. I will insert some photos of me wearing this so you can see how it stretches out on the body, because the 2x2 rib tends to cinch in a lot, but this can be stretched a lot. And yeah, that is it for the leftover top. So that is it for today's video for my leftover bralette. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or feedback for me. And maybe you are inspired to work on a leftover top yourself. Share your thoughts with me, share your questions with me and your experiences. I would be very interested in this. And other than that, I wish you all a peaceful time, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!